Okay, there has been a lot of requests for instructions on how to make chicken mull. Chicken mull is a stew or a soup that was really kind of born out of poverty, to be quite honest with you, but it is unique to Madison County, Georgia. And my wife was born and raised in Madison County, Georgia. I had never heard of chicken mull until I moved here, but I am a huge fan of chicken mull. So the basic ingredients originally were, they would basically just use chicken broth, breadcrumbs, and milk, and maybe salt, something like that. So my wife makes the best chicken mull I've ever eaten. So we're going to talk about the steps, the process to do that. So what's step number one?
Step number one, take your chicken, rinse it off. I prefer a pressure cooker. You can cook the chicken in any way you prefer. If you just want to cook it in a regular pot on the stove, that's fine. I prefer the pressure cooker. It tenderizes it better for me. And I also prefer to use chicken breast with the skin on. The skin is going to give you a better flavor, and the broth is going to be better. It's going to have more fat in it. So wash your chicken, put it in here, put your water, and I do go ahead and add salt.
So how much water have you put in there? That looks like a lot of water on top of
well, it is,
that
but
chicken.
When you're using a pressure cooker, it's gonna cook down, and then you have to put the lid on it. It's gonna steam off, and it's gonna go down probably about an inch.
Okay.
I mean, you're gonna lose a lot of water.
But the chicken itself never actually is under pressure when it's under water like that.
Yes, it is.
Okay.
I'm gonna put about a teaspoon of salt in here.
Teaspoon of salt. Okay.
Yeah, and then I'm gonna turn it on, let it cook, and once it's done, we'll come back and do the rest.
All right, so we're gonna time skip to the next section now. Okay, just real quick, give me the ingredients list and then kind of the order that they go into this dish.
You're gonna do your chicken as
All right, and this is a whole chicken with skin on it. Is it bone? It ain't boneless, skinless breast, right?
Well, I have breast with the skin on it.
But you could use a whole chicken.
You can use a whole fryer. You can use chicken halves. Whatever you want to use, you can use. I prefer white meat, but you can use a whole fryer or half chickens, whatever. Cook the chicken and then put your salt. You may want to add more salt later as well. I prefer to use some whipping cream and half. They're richer milks. If you just use regular milk, it doesn't have as good of a flavor. So I prefer to use a little bit of both of these.
So heavy whipping cream is going to be like all fat, basically,
yeah.
And it's what you want. Okay, and how much butter?
Butter, at least half a stick. At least half. You can put more if you have a bigger pan. I prefer Land of Lakes or real butter, not margarine. Salt, pepper, Texas Pete, or the Crystal. Is that the other?
Yeah, I like Crystal. Yeah,
Crystal
hot sauce
Either
is good.
Texas Pete or Crystal. You don't have to put much in here because we always add to it as we're eating. And crackers.
So saltines or those?
Yeah, saltines or these are fine. And once this cooks, I will blend the chicken in here and also at least one sleeve of the crackers.
So it'll go into a food processor.
Yeah, it'll go in here. And this just has this blade in it, so but it grinds it down.
All right, and so now some of the chicken mulls that I see, they'll use a larger grain pepper, but that is fine pepper.
Yeah, this is very fine.
And then we do have some. There's thicker black pepper right here, and I do use that a lot. You can see, like we do a lot of cooking, and I mean, obviously, this kind of stove you use doesn't matter, but we have a Viking gas range. You can just tell by the assortment of spices that we do a lot of cooking. So, all right, anyway, on to the next step. Okay, now your chicken is boiling, okay, it's under the water. How long is it going to boil?
Well, I don't know who knows how to use a pressure cooker and who doesn't, but you have to put, well, first of all, you want to make sure your seal is on. And we need to put that on, turn it down, and we have to let steam come out for 10 minutes. And then we will put the dottler on there.
Okay. And then how long will you allow that to happen?
About 30 to 40 minutes.
30 or 40 minutes. So it's boiled, and that took... All right, so once it boils, then you put the lid on. Then you let steam come out.
Let steam come out for 10 minutes.
10 minutes. Then you let then you put the dottler on and you let it boil for 30 or 40 minutes. Yeah. Okay. Okay, so you used white meat, chicken breasts, and at this point you're going to pull the skin off. We don't use the skin at all for anything, right?
No.
And you're just going to pull the meat off of the bones and you're going to grind the meat, correct?
Correct.
Okay, next step. Okay, so at this point you have pulled some of the meat, not all of the meat.
Just one.
It's gone into a food processor and you're going to granulate it.
Yep.
All right, go. Let me see the consistency of it. There you go. That's the consistency. And this is all of the chicken meat?
Yes.
All right. So this is all, you can see it's nothing but white meat. No bones, no gristle, no joints, no skin. Just white meat granulated. And now she is about to grind up a sleeve of crackers, and you can either use the Zesta crackers or saltines. Completely ground up.
Yeah, and this really helps to thicken it.
So this is just a thickener for the stew. Okay, jump ahead in time. We have strained the broth through a colander to remove any bones or anything else that we don't want in there. We added the granulated meat into the broth. Some black pepper, about a teaspoon of black pepper. Another level teaspoon of salt to that. And you had a half a stick of butter in there, right? And now you've raised the temperature. Yeah, and it's starting to bubble a little bit. Watch that. Don't get that handle on over the fire.
I mean, it's not as low as it'll go.
Okay, yeah. All right, and now you're going to add your granulated cracker crumbs. Slowly, or else they will clump. Yep. All right, and okay, so she keeps it moving so it doesn't scorch, and she added another half of a stick, well, actually a quarter of a stick of butter. So we're up to 3/4 of a stick of butter for this. And because she's cooking by feel, but she's been doing this for 30 years. Based on the quantity that she has. And the next thing to go in is going to be heavy whipping cream.
And
okay, so, and now we're at the Texas Pete stage, but she hasn't added the whipping cream yet. Okay, so she's just going to put in some Texas Pete. And however much whipping cream, heavy whipping cream that was. Looked like what, maybe 1/4 to 1/3 of a cup?
Yeah, I don't measure. I mean, you can put it in based on, I mean, the consistency you want it to be. I've never measured.
She's never measured, but it looked like about 1/3 of a cup to me. Oh, here comes more. Now we're up to about 1/2 cup.
And when this sits, it's going to get thicker.
Yeah.
So as it sits in the fridge overnight, when you go to heat it up tomorrow, you're definitely going to have to add, you can add regular milk, half and half, whipping cream, whatever you want, but you're definitely going to have to add milk to it.
To thin it down.
Yeah, it will get thicker as it sits.
Okay.
And that's basically it. I mean,
All right, so this is the completion of it.
and to eat it, once you put it in your bowl,
We add
it's good to add Texas Pete, or he
Crystal.
likes the Crystal, and then add crackers to it, and you're good to go.
So, and the reason we add crackers to the surface of this, even though it has crackers in it, is just, it's mainly a consistency thing. So you get crunchy crackers. The crackers that are granulated are for as a thickener, and then, but it's just more saltines.
Yeah, it puts it to this consistency.
And you get
here.
a little bit of crunch, and then we put hot sauce, Texas Pete hot sauce on top. And usually I will have a glass of iced tea to go with it.
Yeah.